and welcome once again, All Takes Valid, episode 95. As always, I go by Trill Trayy, joined once again with SP21 and my main man, Vick. So, Vick, why don't you go ahead and give him a rundown for today's episode? I know you enjoyed that Monday Night Football game. So, yeah, go ahead and give him let him know what's going on.
With this past weekend, it was definitely
Great.
a stressful weekend for sure to say.
Oh, it was great.
I mean, fantasy football. Just watching all these scores, hoping your teams would pull through for the pick'ems. Definitely some upsets. Definitely some, eye-opening. Yeah.
I mean, Mr. Pick'ems knew what was going on.
I mean, you're not Mr. Pick'ems. We all know Spencer's Mr. Pick'ems because he won last season, so he has that title for this season up until one of us will knock him off. But anyways,
well, he's already 0-1.
Hey, it's okay. It's a long season. It's a long season. So we will be recapping
0-1 like the Ravens.
We'll be recapping week 1 performances. We have our power rankings.
Fumbles.
We'll be giving our power rankings, and then after that, we will finish off with the Thursday night football pick'ems, which obviously we know I'm notorious for. 1-0 so far, but everybody picked Tampa last week. So with that being said, I'm just going to recap some of the game scores for this past weekend. We had the Seattle Seahawks versus the Indianapolis Colts. Seattle won 28-16. The Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Houston Texans. Jags lost 37-21. Who would have thought that after all the turmoil that the Houston Texans have faced with Deshaun Watson and just that depleted team that we all believed it they were, I mean, for them to lose like that, I don't know. Urban Meyers, a lot of red flags.
So let's stay here real quick. Because this one is one that I think kind of shocked everyone. But two things.
Right.
It's Jacksonville. That's first. It is still Jacksonville. Right. They were just the worst team in the league last year. So let's not just sit here and act like there was some juggernaut or something. Yeah, you got Trevor Lawrence, but you had to be the worst team in the league to be able to draft him. That's one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Two, if you really look at the Texans team, I mean, they got talent on the team. It's just, I mean, the biggest thing was Deshaun Watson, but like we talked about with Tyrod Taylor, Tyrod's no bum. And I mean, he showed it. He's had some bad breaks the last couple of stops in Cleveland. You know, he lost the job to Baker due to some circumstances. Then we all know what happened with him last year with Herbie. The medical staff pretty much stabbed my boy. And then when Herbert got in there and you see what Herbert did, there's no way you're getting your job back after that. So he was in some bad situations, but now he's getting to start again. So I just want to throw that out there because, I mean, we all picked Jacksonville, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, when you really look at it, Tyrod's a proven NFL caliber quarterback. Trevor Lawrence is going to take him, some time to get used to the league. And yeah, Jacksonville Jaguars actually have a worse roster.
You would think. They definitely had a good offseason, but regardless, you still got to come to play the game. And Houston, they showed up and showed out. Next game we had was Philadelphia versus the Atlanta Falcons. Philadelphia won 20. Wait, that is not the right score. Who has the correct
3? Come on, man.
32-6. Philadelphia Eagles beat the Falcons 32-6.
Oh, I got it mixed up. So 32-6. I had the score for Philadelphia versus Atlanta mixed up with the Los Angeles Chargers and the Washington football team. 32-6. Appreciate you, Spencer, for that. The Los Angeles Chargers defeated the Washington football team 20-16. Really good game. If y'all didn't see that. Pittsburgh.
No, hold on. See, you just brushing by stuff. Hold on.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it when we go into depth. All right. So Pittsburgh versus the Buffalo Bills. Pittsburgh with Wiley, which is kind of crazy, but we all, except for Spencer, was the only one that picked the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yeah.
Thank you for believing.
Pittsburgh came.
Thank you for believing when I didn't, Spence.
Pittsburgh came through.
Look, man.
Upset.
Look, man. Y'all had one play that
when
wasn't paid. Like I said, like I told both of y'all, I had to hear, oh yeah, he got paid. Okay, I'm picking him. Because he's going to show you why he should have got paid. And which he did.
He definitely did. Yeah, we'll talk about
which
that.
He did.
Yeah, he showed up.
The 49ers defeated the Detroit Lions 41-33.
Terrifying. Ooh.
Minnesota was defeated by Cincinnati 27-24.
Kurt, you had one job.
Hey, that boy Jamar Chase.
Kurt, you had one job.
Jamar Chase.
Yeah, Jamar definitely showed out. Carolina defeated the New York Jets 19-14.
Let's go, Sam. Revenge.
And probably the biggest surprise was Arizona thrashing Tennessee 38-13.
Wait, that's the biggest?
To me, in my opinion.
Oh, okay.
My opinion. Just how
I think so too. Nobody
was, especially Derrick Henry's stat line. I mean, yeah. That was
okay, you know what? Yeah, sure. Because Chandler Jones freaking had 5 sacks.
Yep. Cleveland almost had it. But it's the Browns, everybody.
The Browns are gonna be the Browns.
But they look nice. They look nice, especially Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney on the edge. But regardless, close but no cigar. They lost 33-29. Miami defeated the New England Patriots 17-16. That was a really good game, fellas. I actually enjoyed that one.
No, it's not close to the comfort, but a win's a win.
Yep.
Denver be able to win ugly.
Yep. Denver defeated the New York Giants 27-13. Green Bay actually. Yeah, Green Bay.
This might have been the most.
That's what I'm saying.
You're right. This might have been the most surprising. Well, I don't know. I don't know if it's surprising because the Saints are good.
Yeah, it's like everybody just like forgot about, and we all picked Green Bay just to say, but it's like everybody forgot that hey, New Orleans still does have a defense, and even though Jameis didn't throw over 200 yards, he still had a better game than what a lot of people thought.
Here's the reason why it's surprising to me. It's not because of the team's like powers, like, oh yeah, the Saints are like no bumps. That's not why I'm surprised. I'm surprised that the Packers only went all game with just a kick.
Yeah.
This was supposed to be your NFC like championship game right here. Not the Saints, but they were just in it last year.
Yeah, but I mean the Green Bay Packers, I don't know. I feel like they usually give that game or two throughout the season that it's just like, what the heck happened with the Green Bay Packers? I mean,
I don't know. I guess they want to get it out the way.
Get it out the way. Chicago versus the Rams. That was a great showing in Matthew Stafford's debut. 34-14. That was wasn't really much of a close game, but it was a good showing for the whole NFL to see that the Rams are for real.
But Matthew Stafford is actually good.
We're gonna see how real they are though.
And then we had the thriller last night, Baltimore versus the Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders won in OT 33-27. That was a wild game for any fan.
Vick, your team is now the only team in NFL history to lose twice in one game.
It's all good. hey, at least it counts as 0-1 and not 0-2. But yeah.
I like how you look at it.
So any games that y'all want to highlight? I know there's a lot of them, but any of the main ones that you want to highlight?
Well,
no, hold on. Let's get back to Spitz's background here. Mr. Aaron Rodgers.
I was about to talk about this.
All right.
Yeah, because we y'all said something and y'all kind of just gave it like y'all kind of just brushed by something. Y'all said that the Packers have this type of game once a year or a couple times a year where you're like, what happened to the Packers? And they bounce back and they're usually all right. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
That's true.
I mean,
that's fine. This didn't look like that though. That man's body language didn't look like that. Aaron Rodgers looked like a person, he didn't care what was going on.
Oh, so you're part of the conspiracy, huh?
Hey, yeah, I'm part of it. But I said it before. But now, granted, I'm in Facebook jail right now, so I don't know. I mean, I can see some of the stuff, but I can't, so I'm not on it like that. So, but watching it live, me and a couple of boys who, we went out to Hooters and we watched some of the games and stuff. So watching it live, I was just like, yeah, this man don't care. Like his body language on the sideline. Now notice when they were losing to the 49ers 2 years ago in the NFC Championship, you see how upset he looked, and you even in the NFC Championship this year, you could see he was upset with, I guess, the play calling or the decision, to not go for it or whatever the case was.
Right.
This didn't look like that. This looked like somebody who, okay, it's like he kind of got his way already.
I got you.
His money's pretty much guaranteed. They can't back, if once he leaves, they can't take back what was already paid out that was guaranteed. Correct. He's free to leave next season. Right. And it looks like, honestly, to me, now granted, y'all could be right. It could just be he had a bad game.
Right.
But this don't look like a bad game for a dude who just won the MVP. This looked like somebody who was just out there and didn't care at all. That's what it looked like to me. So we're gonna see this week versus Detroit. Because if he looks like that again, granted he's my fantasy quarterback, I let you get away with one, Aaron. You cost me the game this week. But yeah, if you look the same against Detroit, yeah, y'all got to just go ahead and trade this man because he already didn't want to be there.
Right.
Y'all agreed to whatever y'all agreed to. So he's like, okay, I'm gonna come back for one more year, but it seems like he might just be trying to sabotage them. But maybe I'm thinking a little too deep into it. Maybe he had a bad game, but I don't know. Just the body language, something don't look right to me.
I got you.
I felt like just watching that game, it was like playing Madden, one of those times where it's just like no matter what you do, just everything goes against you, and you just like, you know what, F it. Right. But regardless, I mean, part of that might be true just because obviously the lack of off season that he had with the Green Bay Packers. I'm sure he doesn't. I mean, it makes a big difference when a team has your back, the organization has your back. Obviously, he knows his teammates has his back, but the organization, it's, the complete opposite. And, when you feel good about where you're at, the team you're with and all that stuff, it definitely, it plays a part. So I wouldn't rule your whole theory out either, Trey, because I do believe that part of it has to do with it. But, so yeah, what y'all wanted to go in depth with the Green Bay Packers versus the New Orleans Saints, or do y'all want to continue on?
I'm good. I mean, most of it's like we could probably see like everybody saying like, man, Aaron's not into it. But once again, like always, they always have this WTF moments like early in the week. I mean, they lost the first week, and then all of a sudden you see them in the NFC Championship game. So we have to just play it by ear. Now, with what Trayy said though, if they look like this against Detroit, then yeah, you might want to let him go.
Yeah. Plus, we all got to keep in mind, New Orleans defense, they have a habit of making good teams look bad. So, but regardless, I mean, there was definitely a lot of things that we could point at with Aaron Rodgers throws where they weren't on target. It was behind the receiver. So
Double coverage.
yeah, double coverage exactly. Throws he made that were questionable, wasn't Aaron Rodgers like. So there's a lot of theories that people will make about it, but it's just week one. So we'll see if this continues on. Then we can probably say, hey, Aaron Rodgers is ready to check out. And yeah, so I guess the next game that I wanted to go over, which was the big debut that everybody was basically highlighting about week one, Cleveland versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Cleveland lost 33-29. Obviously, anybody that watched that game seen the issues and things that were going on.
You mean the booth?
Yeah, the booth, and obviously that late interception that ended the game, allowing the Kansas City Chiefs to win it. I was definitely shocked at the score and how aggressive that the Cleveland Browns were in the beginning. They came out guns blazing, but it wasn't enough. And
what is with Pat Mahomes beating two quarterbacks in the North that got drafted the same year? What is with that? Lamar can't beat him. Baker can't beat him. It's they had the funny thing is like they had the game. It didn't at a certain moment, like the Browns do, they just let it go. And once they let it go, they can never grab it back. And once you do that, oh yeah, Mahomes got you. So that's what happened. After that fumble off that punt, and then Baker threw that interception, it was GG's from there.
Yeah. We also can't forget about Nick Chubb. He fumbled. That also helped the momentum go towards KC side too. They definitely they were getting to the point where they looked like they were going to score again, and then Nick Chubb fumbles, and things started going downhill from there too. So there's a lot of mistakes on Cleveland Browns side that definitely led to the Kansas City Chiefs. Basically, they're derailed. Like they couldn't finish the game.
Yeah.
And I was thinking to myself right when all that was happening, I was like, if Trayy was right next to me, he'd be like, it's the Browns being the Browns. We are who we thought they were.
Yeah. I mean that's part of it. That's definitely part of it, right? Cleveland is Cleveland at the end of the day. But they had a good approach. Like you said, they were aggressive, but they couldn't seal the deal. But this kind of just reminds it's not a Cleveland thing. This is just it's kind of like a typical thing. When Kansas City gets down, for the most part, they're never really out of a game. Look at that playoff game with Houston. What, two years ago?
Yeah.
They were down three scores?
Yeah, I think it was 21. No, actually, I think it was 24-0.
Yeah, and then before halftime, they were leading. So, I mean, for the most part, when healthy, because obviously in the Super Bowl he wasn't able to come back, but there were some other circumstances that had to do with that. But for the most part, from what I've seen, when healthy, yeah, there's not a really elite that's safe. And I want to say that Tennessee playoff game that same season, I think Tennessee was up on them as well. For a good majority of the game.
It's like 31-10.
Yeah, and once again, it's like because him, especially with Tyreek, like him and Tyreek can score like this. It doesn't take long, so you can get him to punt, but then if you're not still scoring, that next possession could be a score. Next possession is a score. Like it's quick. It doesn't really take. It doesn't take them long to get up and down the field.
They're literally just 7-second offense.
Their pass protection was phenomenal too, from what I was seeing. Definitely kept Orlando Brown, former Raven, kept Myles Garrett in check for the most part.
You didn't need to mention that. No one cares where he
but thought the center, the rookie that they got out of Alabama, I think it was.
Yeah.
And then their right guard, I think it was Trey Smith or something like that. They all look good. Offensive line was far better. I mean, they still.
That was real good. That was a good test, though. That's a pretty good D line to start out against.
Yeah, they still couldn't run the ball much, but maybe that might change with obviously Cleveland has a pretty solid, not solid, a pretty good, if not great, defense, especially maybe run defense. I can't say just yet, but I mean, it was a good test. We'll see. Maybe they might be able to run the ball a little bit better, but that's my biggest thing that I want to see from KC going forward.
My thing though is, aside from this KC game, if Cleveland plays like this every week against any other team like this, they're definitely going to be a problem. They're going to be a problem for us, meaning Pittsburgh. They're going to definitely be a problem for y'all losing to the Raiders. So I mean, yeah, it is definitely, if we get this Cleveland every week, then the hype might just be real. But that's a big if we get this Cleveland every week. Because a lot of teams, they get up for the Chiefs, just like a lot of teams this year. Dallas, we got to see, was that them just getting up because it was the Bucs and they're the Super Bowl champs, or is this the Dallas that we're going to see this year? Sometimes teams, especially bad teams, they put their all in when they place a good team, because it's kind of like a measuring stick. Like, okay, this is our Super Bowl type of situation. So we're going to see if this is the Cleveland we're going to get, they're going to be a problem. But it goes back to this in the AFC. I don't care who it is. Cleveland, Baltimore, Buffalo, Pittsburgh. The measuring stick is Kansas City.
Yep.
So that's what it all comes down to. So I don't care how good you're doing in the AFC. If you can't beat 15 at this point in time, it really doesn't matter. So you got to be able to beat 15. In Cleveland, the second time in a row they blew a game, because especially in the playoffs last year, when Mahomes went out, that was gift wrap for y'all. That was y'all game to take. And y'all blew it then. Y'all blew it on Sunday
with Chad Henne.
So y'all. I don't think Cleveland's ready, and we'll get to that other team in the North
in a minute. But first, let's talk about Sunday night and the premiere of Matt Stafford and the Los Angeles Rams. As I predicted and seen. Matt Stafford should have been around maybe 2 years ago. He only missed 6 throws, 321, 3 touchdowns. I mean, he looks comfortable, man. He looks like he's well in the system. Cooper Kupp got 108 yards, got a touchdown. Jefferson got 80 yards and a touchdown. Robert Woods got a touchdown, and so they've just. It's just working out from there. The running game is still some work that needs to be done on that. And the defense is the Rams, so they're going to be fine regardless. But with that, seeing what Matt Stafford did out there, and the Bears may not be top dominant defense, but I mean, in the first game in a big stage, he handled himself very well. So. Yeah.
No, the Bears are a solid team. So it's especially defensively, they are. So that was a good showing. But the only thing I'll say about that is Matt Stafford has been playing the Bears for years because he's been in that division. So that doesn't really show me too much yet. I want to see. Really, what I want to see, what everybody is kind of hyping up now after what they've seen Sunday, that's what I'm waiting on, is the week 3 matchup. Yep.
Yeah.
Bucks and Rams. That's gonna show me where this Rams team is really at, where Stafford is at within this what he's given to the Rams, because the Rams actually played the Bucks well last year with golf. So I want to see if it's a big leap, if it's a big difference now that you put Stafford in there in place of him. So I just want to see how that's going to look. So, but that's the matchup I'm really looking at before I really be like, okay, this is something. But so far so good. But it's week 1, guys.
Right.
You can never get too high or too low on any team just yet. So we just gotta chill. Like some of the stuff we've seen, it could just be a one-off.
Completely agree. Which I think we have enough time to just talk about the Baltimore Ravens versus the Las Vegas Raiders.
No, we can go to break.
Oh, go to break. That's cool with me. Hey,
all you had
sure
to
want to
do
run.
was win the game, CJ. All you had to do was win the game. They threw the pick. And all you had to do was make smart plays down the field and have your kicker win the game for you.
So I don't know where I want to start with this, because it's a couple things. I was texting Vick throughout the game, obviously, because, well, at first they looked good. They came out to what, a 14-0 start. I was like, okay, Baltimore's handling up. They're doing what they're supposed to do. The Raiders looking like the Raiders.
Right.
And then slowly but surely, you kept them around. They get back in. Next thing I know, it's 17-17. What's that? Going like midway to the third quarter or something like that. So as you continue on, we end up in overtime now. So we get to overtime. Raiders get the ball first. They pretty much have a walk-off touchdown, is what I'm thinking, which leads to, a review. Knee was down.
Right.
Baltimore ends up holding. And then what ends up happening is Derek Carr, in Raider fashion, ends up on an interception.
Which is ironic, too.
Yep. So once that happens, that gives Baltimore some life. And I'm saying in my head, if Lamar gets the ball back with no points, or they kick a field goal, the game is over. Boy, was I wrong. So Lamar uncharacteristically fumbles the ball to give the Raiders yet another shot. And this time they would not be denied, as this time the walk-off touchdown stood. So that's basically the breakdown of the game, but there's little details within the game that I want to point out, specifically to you, Vick. So you talked about Orlando, who you guys traded over to Kansas City. I see your face, you're already smiling. You guys picked up a guy, Mr. Alejandro Villanueva, former Pittsburgh Steeler, who we let go, as you can see, for a reason. He had a long night. Whether it was Crosby or even Nassib, which Nassib was a big key part in the very last play that caused the fumble. So, and guess who gave up that play yet again? Same dude who's giving up plays all night, Villanueva. And when I told you, when you signed him, you probably thought I was just being a hater. I'm like, no, we got rid of him for a reason. You know, he's washed. He don't got it. So I don't know what y'all gonna do. I don't know how you move forward and continue starting him. He's seen more days behind him than are in front of him. So yeah. But I can say this: I'm ready to see him return to Pittsburgh and see TJ a motivated TJ who just got paid. That'll be fun.
I don't know how y'all gonna do it, because next week, maybe the odds be in your favor.
Who they got next week?
Number 15.
Oh Lord.
Sunday night.
Well, I mean,
Your prime
passing
time, baby.
wise though, Lamar looked all right. Marquise Brown looked good. Sammy Watkins actually looked good. Running game didn't really look that bad. It's kind of like what Vick said. You have to respect Lamar, so you're gonna have that element of it still. So,
but question though, the presence of Marcus Peters is missing. You can see it, huh?
oh, in the secondary, yeah, it's a lot of Tavon Young.
Yeah.
A lot of yeah, he's real. He's real touchy-feely. Like that's gonna be a problem for y'all all season, looks like, unless he can get that in check. Like he don't know how to. He not the same type of a cover corner like Peters. Like, yeah, he gonna give up some penalties. He gonna blow some third downs, touching too much, getting called for penalties. I can see that. And once again, I welcome all of this when we play y'all. But for somebody whose team we're talking about, you're a little quiet. You want to speak, sir?
I'm not really pressed about it, really, to be honest. It is week 1, but I am a little unsure about what the Ravens plan on doing with the right tackle situation. I don't personally believe that it should be like that going forward. I think they should have done something already in the game, but it kind of tells me that maybe, just maybe, they don't have anybody better than him for right tackle. And if that's the case, then I would be extremely nervous, and I would want them to actually put some help, meaning put a tight end on that side to help out. Even though I did see that a few times throughout the game, it wasn't consistent. And I mean, Lamar, he looked good for somebody that, as everybody says, can't pass. And he was definitely throwing dots. There were some questionable passes he made, but it was only like 2. But outside of that, I mean, run game, you could tell that they were trying to pass the ball more. Right. They weren't so run heavy like they have been the last few years. So those were good signs. Marquise and Watkins, they both almost had 100 yards receiving. So, I mean, compared to previous years, that's an upgrade, because usually it's only one player, usually Mark Andrews, who has, leads the team. But outside of that, I was disappointed in the loss. But to me, I thought to myself, you know what? We've seen this last year. The Raiders, for some reason, they always have that one game that they just show out. And then outside of that, they just lay to bed.
Okay.
So,
well, I'm glad y'all took the bullet for us, because we play them next week. So we'll be more than happy to bring them back down to reality. Thank you.
I believe it. But I just wanted to mention, I was impressed with the pass rush for the Baltimore Ravens. It looked a lot better than the previous years, for sure. Being able to get home instead of having, I mean, we still blitz heavy, but seeing the pass rushers, Adolfo Way, our first round pick, and Justin Houston.
Yeah, I see out there making, yeah.
So they're both, setting the edge. They were getting to the passer. So I was really satisfied with that, because previous years you would not see that. So that's all I want to say about that. I guess we'll be good to go on to the next topic, which